Hello, and welcome to part 5 of my Deity Plus Three game as the Persians. So, here I've just discovered explosives and began economics. So, one of the things that we're going to be seeing in this game, or in this section I should say, is the effects of setting Barbarian Wrath in a game. Now, I should mention that there's been a rather long time since I played this game, and now that I've actually done the editing and recorded it, so I may not remember every single bit of strategy that I did. Unfortunately, I had some computer problems, and then I was busy with work. So anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make the city happy by actually moving a unit out of the city. Because what happens sometimes is that the double unhappiness from units will actually be taken off the black hats in the city. Oh, there was a wonder built, I believe it was Eiffel Tower. So it doesn't always work, but sometimes what will happen is the unhappiness from units will turn the double unhappy citizens to just normal unhappy, which can then be cured by JS Fox Cathedral. And that didn't work in that case. I'm not really sure why it works sometimes and doesn't other times. But anyway, that's what I was trying to achieve. So now I've had some engineers. And I'm raising taxes because I won't need the science this turn. So one of the things I set up in this episode is a ship chain to the Egyptians. Oh, there's another city I'm building. Anyway, so this basically I wanted to increase my trade with the Egyptians, and I'm gonna set up a ship chain in order to do that quickly. But you'll see more of that later. So there I decided I didn't want the chariot anymore, and rushed a musketeer. And I'm going to be fighting barbarians with diplomats. Oh, there the Russians develop railway, or the railroad. So something to know about railroad is that it reduces the payments you get from caravan deliveries by 1/3. So you don't want to get it until you're actually ready to put in some railroads. Now that payment reduction can be compensated for by the bonus that you get when you get the corporation and you can build freight. But you don't really want to get it if you're not ready to go and get industrialization in the corporation. Well, there I'll lose a diplomat there next turn. So anyway, here we just have a... I believe I included pretty much all of this turn here. So, you know, one of the things you do when you're delivering caravans is you check to see where the cities are that demand the commodity, and if it's worth going there to deliver it. Or just making sure that there are no cities that demand the commodity that are worth delivering to before you just dump it into any city you like. So when you go to establish a ship chain, you basically have to put it. What you're basically going to do is you're going to set up a line of ships that each ship can get to the next one in one turn. So you need an awful lot of ships for that, and then you need to get them all to the same place, which is part of what I was doing. See a lot of ships going towards the Egyptians, and that's because I want to make a chain. Yeah, so more barbarians. Now, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of barbarians, and the nice thing to do is to go and try to find the central stack, and then to eliminate it. I never really got the chance that turn in this game, just because of the amount of resources I had over there and where the stack was, which I never even found out, I think. So, I use diplomats to fight barbarians, because part of what it does is you also get the unit that you're bribing, and I believe it's actually a little bit cheaper. See, because an elephant costs 82 gold to bribe, and it would cost about 100 gold to rush. Of course, you have to pay for the diplomat as well, which isn't so good. But the thing is that oftentimes, if you know where the stack is, where the uprising began, then you can bribe units and get close enough to it to use a bribed unit to kill the stack. So as I'm sure I've mentioned before, oftentimes what you want to do when you deliver a caravan is to maximize the trade in the city where the caravan is coming from, if you can, because that'll just give you a little bit more money. Of course, they don't always do that. Sometimes because you know the city is maxed out on trade, and other times, you know, it's just not worth the hassle. So there the Egyptians built Adam Smith's trading company. I think it was the Egyptians. Perhaps it was someone else. So there, discovered metallurgy. began chivalry. Now, the unfortunate thing about chivalry is that it removes horsemen from your building queue, and that just makes it more expensive to rush things, because you then have to start building at a diplomat, so it costs a little bit more money. But on the other hand, it does open up certain technology paths. I just built a couple of cities. See, and so this is where bribery is nice. Because I was able to get the elephant. Now, something that I probably didn't mention before is that barbarians have a really high attack bonus at this level. See, because the way barbarians work is that at low levels they have an attack penalty, and at higher levels they have an attack bonus. So at Deity, the attack bonus, they get a plus 50% attack bonus. At King, the attack is normal. And at this level, they get their attack bonus is basically times 2 or times 2.25. I think it's the latter. So there I got a whole bunch of technologies that I needed. And to get their latest map. And so now I'll have the ability to build railroads and to research other technologies, but I will suffer a 50% trade penalty. So to the extent that you can, you want to build your first railroads on really highly traveled places. I guess it's the same thing with your first roads as well, as much as you can. I mean, or you build them in places where you'll get your extra shield bonus. Preferably where it's easy to get the bonus, like for Buffalo or something. Where you're already likely to have a road, and then the railroad isn't too long to build. So, I don't remember why I wanted to avoid getting technology there, but I guess I did. Oh, maybe it's because I knew that they were about to complete Darwin's voyage. And so I didn't want to research a technology that they were going to get anyway. So I believe what I was doing here is I was looking and trying to find out where Leonardo's workshop was. And the Vikings built it, I believe. And the idea was to start seeing if I can make plans to take the city. Now, when I actually get around to playing the next set of turns, I'll formulate that plan better. Especially because it's been so long since I actually played this set of turns. But basically, I would tech towards machine tools, I believe that's the tech's called. And so I can get artillery, which I could then land and attack the Viking city with Leonardo's workshop in it. Won't happen for a little while anyway. Now this is interesting because I was already at peace with them. Now that happens a fair amount in Civilization. I have no idea why. Is that the other civs somehow forget that you have an agreement with them. Yeah, so here, I got industrialization, starting to research the corporation, and you always want to go for the corporation because a 50% bonus on your trade is always very useful. So it should be a very high priority after you get railroad. Yeah, so there I'm doing a bit of the ship chain, which is what you do is you activate the units that you want to get to onto the next boat. And then they'll go away with the next boat in that leaves the square. And in that way, you can move units a lot faster by sea. Of course, I'm not getting very great payments here. Yeah, so doing the whole shift around the trade. I think in a couple of cases I edited that out. So what I'm doing is I'm interested in getting the corporation on the very next turn. So we're getting to the end of this video. Ordinarily, I normally try to end videos at the end of a turn. I didn't in this case, just because I had stopped playing in the middle of a turn, and then I had computer problems, so I didn't. So when I solved them, I just figured I'd go and edit this video, which I didn't even do very quickly at that, and then just didn't bother finishing the turn before putting all this together. So here I'm just looking at foreign civilizations to see what they have in technology, if I need anything from them. And now here I'm looking at the requirements for machine tools just to make sure I know what I need, which isn't a whole lot. And so that's the end of the video for today.